Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Intuitive Edge. Thanks for joining me. It's time to look at our week ahead. So this is where I take a look at the upcoming events that we might be seeing playing out in the news, what we can expect to see in various areas such as politics, society at large, what might we be seeing in the news, what might be hidden. So we're going to take a look at that. So this is our week ahead video. I'm going to shuffle up the cards and be right back. Okay, so I've shuffled up the cards. Now, so for our week ahead, we have politics, what crosses that. We're going to be looking at, let me see, let me put these a little differently. Okay, we're going to be looking at Joe Biden this week, Donald Trump this week, what's going to be in the news, behind the scenes. And then I got, as I was praying for this week ahead, it's kind of like I got what to look out for or what to be on the watch for. Haven't really gotten that before. So we're going to look at that. And what are we letting go of, what's going into the past, and then our outcome for the week and what's underneath. So here we go. Okay, so first item out is politics. I usually throw that out first, get that out of the way. Although it kind of plays a theme through most everything these days. So politics. What I have on this is the Knight of Rods. Knight of Rods in this deck. I'm using my Aquarian deck. Knight of Wands, Knight of Rods, same thing. Knights are messengers. Now this is a messenger. I have a crossing card that crosses it. I have the 6 of the same suit. Now, what's interesting, I've got a mixed energy with this, and I'll tell you some messages I've been getting with it. This knight is a messenger, and I feel like we have some news coming in. And what I get is that there's going to be some type of welcome news or vindication coming in. Somebody is going to be vindicated. However, it won't matter to people whose minds are made up. What I'm getting with this card is, although this is a positive card of someone, it's like welcome news, someone being a triumphal entry, someone being vindicated, which I think will happen. But I also get the sense of mobs. And there's not going to be any reasoning with a mob mentality. With people who have got their minds made up or skewed or what have you to a certain worldview, no amount of good news or vindication is going to override their hatred of someone. So if someone is vindicated in the news, I'm just going to throw a name out, say General Flynn, just throwing that out there. If there's enough people that have a mob mentality that they just hate him regardless, it's not going to matter what good news comes out, even if, all the charges are dropped or what have you against him. Or the same with Donald Trump or whoever is vilified. If there's something good, which I think there will be, that comes out. This knight is telling me that there's something good coming, but I also sense it's not going to matter a whole lot to the people who are in the mob mentality, who are not thinking. They're just being pushed around by narratives, propaganda. Mob mentality kind of does that. It gets people out of thinking with their heads, and they begin to just react and rule their head with their emotions and their heart, and logic goes out the window. I kind of sense like both of those scenarios playing out. Something good, and also it doesn't matter with certain people because their minds are made up and there's no convincing them. So we have that going on in politics. Very, very polarized, and it's like the two sides ne'er shall meet. Okay, the next 2 cards are, I did a card on each of the candidates to see kind of where they're at this week. And I've got really weird, interesting information on both candidates. Joe Biden had the upside down Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords is a card of anxiety, worry. With the reversal, are we looking at more anxiety or less anxiety? It depends on the rest of the reading. Generally, it can go either way depending on what the other cards are. And I feel like this is kind of a wild card. So I asked to kind of tune into this. The message I got when I tuned into this, I paused the video, and I tuned into it, did a little meditation, and I went and in my mind's eye, I could see Joe Biden sitting in a room somewhere. I'll just explain to you what I saw. He was sitting in a room with, I don't know, 8 or 10, maybe less, trusted inner circle, like his campaign advisors. I think Kamala was there. And the advisors were basically, I just saw them like telling Joe Biden that they've got some polling numbers out, internal polls, and they said they're telling Joe Biden it's not looking good. And I feel like what they're wanting to do is I hear him say like, but don't worry, we've got some people on the inside in the media that we're going to feed some poll numbers to, and they're actually like flipping some of the numbers, like flipping, like if Biden is 40 and Trump is 60, they're going to just flip that and say it's 60 Biden, 40 Trump. It's just, they're just mirroring or flipping or something. They're skewing the polls. Maybe it's not that exact example, but somehow like skewing the polls. And they're telling Joe Biden, don't worry, we've got it covered. I also got the sense that whoever they are that are telling Joe Biden, they're like the ones who are absolutely running his campaign. I don't sense Joe Biden running his campaign. I sense that he just kind of is there and they're just telling him what they're doing. They kind of report to the boss, but he's not really the boss. I don't get that he's really in charge or really in control. It's like his advisors, probably Kamala, other people are the ones that are doing the decision making, and they're letting Joe think that he's in on everything, and they might take something he says under advisement, but they're really the ones calling the shots. But with that reversal on that 9, I mean, that's the card of anxiety and worry. And I feel like that they're taking that worry that, the polls don't look so good, but we're going to turn it around. We're going to say that it's better than it is. Donald Trump, on the other hand, he had an interesting card too. He's got this 2 of Swords. Now, this is interesting because this is a card about kind of you're in denial about something. You're wanting to just kind of stick to your own little world and not be receptive. It's like you're blocking something out, which is interesting on Donald Trump. I don't usually get that impression with him. So I'm thinking he may be laying low this week. There's something that maybe is put on the table and he doesn't want to deal with it. I don't know. That doesn't sound like him, but I'm trying to figure out what else that could be with that 2 of Swords for Donald Trump. So in the news this week, obviously we're going to be hearing a lot about the Amy Coney Barrett hearings. I believe they start tomorrow. So that's going to be taking up a lot of the news. So that's pretty much, I just see something, fate, karma, destiny with the Wheel of Fortune card. But I sense a lot of just things set in motion. So I think that's going to be kind of dominating the news cycle. Okay, so this next question is what's hidden, what's behind the scenes that we don't see. Now, there's something going on this week with the president, so y'all keep him in prayer. I don't know what this is. I got that 2 of Swords with him, kind of not wanting, kind of like something going on. But there's the 3 of Cups reversed is sitting right underneath the card for Donald Trump. And that's what's behind the scenes. And this card is kind of like a loss of a friend, or could even be betrayal. Although it's not the 3 of Swords, which would usually be betrayal. Three of Cups reversed, though. It's kind of like, I just feel like there's something like, I don't know if there's going to be a friend that backstabs him, or a friend that turns on him, or maybe a friend passes away that I don't, there's something. I think this may be what this is referring to. I think it has to do with the president. Something that's behind the scenes. We may not really hear anything about it, so but I think the president's going to be laying low a little bit this week, and that may be why. There's something going on with a friend or something, maybe, hopefully not in his family, but just something. I don't think it's going to be, terribly, horrible. I think it's just something maybe that needs a little bit of attention and a little bit of a challenge, possibly, for the president to deal with on a personal level. I don't think it's anything that probably you or I are going to be privy to, although we might hear about something. If you do, let me know in the comments, because but that's what I'm just sensing with that. So be interesting to see kind of what comes of that. Now, I hate to be a Debbie Downer. I mean, last week was a great week ahead, and look at all the wonderful things that came up last week. We had incredible stuff coming out in the news. Lots of truth bombs, lots of good news, but man, this week is, not quite night and day, but I'm getting a really different vibe this week. Holy cow. Okay, so number 7 is, and I was praying, this is a category that I've not had before on a week ahead, and that is what to be on the alert for, what to watch out for. And we've got the 5 of Cups. Now, that's not, that's kind of a sad card. I don't know if there's an event this week that might draw people's attention, that might feel kind of sad, or like, I don't know, it feels related to perhaps the president being, wanting to kind of lay low. I don't know what to say about this, guys. Maybe I should sit with this for a minute and see if I can pull in some intuitive messages more, because, that's a lot. That's like, it could be anything at this point. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back in a minute. All right, I'm back. So I did some tuning in to the energy of what I'm sensing with this sadness card, this 5 of Cups. I asked where, I feel like it might be an event, and I asked where, and I was drawn down to California, perhaps. I'm thinking California, Southern California. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's an earthquake, because I asked. I didn't feel that, and usually I get earthquake premonitions beforehand, and I haven't had one of those, so I don't think it's that. But I sense, like, I don't know if there's a train derailment or a cargo plane or some type of event. I think this feels like something. I hear chatter on, like, radio comms, people talking to each other, people trying to help. It's possible. It's just possible. I just sense something sad. This feels suspicious. I don't think it's just, it'll probably be blamed on something mundane, but I think it's suspicious. Okay. I don't know what the news will report it as, but it feels suspicious. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking California, something down there happens. I don't know. I heard, like, talking over the radio back and forth, like a chopper overlooking the area. It just looks like a mess. I think it's a train derailment. Maybe. I could be wrong. Sometimes I get, a feeling of something, like a train derailment, and it turns out being a plane crash or something else, or, car pileup on the highway. I don't know, could be something else, but I'm just saying train derailment because that's kind of how it's feeling to me. something like that, okay? But there's a sad event. This is be on the alert for, what to watch out for. So, and then the feeling with it not being a accident, that it could be, be on the alert. Maybe it's a false banner, deliberate. So just be on the alert for that, okay? Oh, I hate to say that. Man, I hate those things when I hate that. Oh, I don't like bad news. Okay. Okay, well, things happen. What are we letting go of? What's moving into the past? Another challenging card. All these cards are like challenging this week. I've got the 7 of coins, 7 of pentacles, upside down it came in. I'll show it to you upright. But this is, looking over, taking stock of what you've accomplished and looking ahead to the future. And this is like you've worked so hard for something and you don't have much to show for it. That's the energy of this card when it's reversed. So what are we letting go of? Maybe high expectations? I don't know. Boy, that's a tough one. I'm going to sit with this. This is a tough week. All right. I'm going to sit with this one. I'll be right back. This is like letting go of things not turning out the way we want and learning to see the good, to pick up the good and carry that forward. And things that you can't fix, just let it go. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You pick up what you can go with and move on. There's something about that this week. Okay. We have the 8 of Cups in our outcome. Another sad card. I'm sorry, guys. All right. Well, as long as everybody knows maybe what's coming, just be grateful. Carry gratitude with you this week. Don't be caught off guard with what you hear in the news. Be on the alert. Have your eyes open with things happening in the world kind of going crazy, especially leading up to the election. Just have your eyes open. Be alert to your surroundings. Just take care. Do what you can to just keep yourself safe. And but we might be having to kind of do some letting go this week. So there may be some kind of tough things to kind of sort out. Now, things always come back around, so I don't want to leave people on this bad note for the week. Because I did sense some initial good news coming in. So there's going to be some good news along with it. Now, underneath, we do have a glimmer of hope this week, okay? We have the 4 of Rods, 4 of Wands. This is a really happy card, home and family. So underneath, home and family is going to take prominence and be important in people's lives. Sometimes when there's a tragedy, people say, you know what matters most to me is my wife and kids and my family and the people that I love dearly. So keep your families close, and we'll see what plays out this week. I hope I'm not like alarming anybody. There's just some heavy energy in pockets. It's not going to be widespread. Just there's some areas to just be aware of your surroundings. Just be alert, and just know that this too shall pass. If there's a situation that comes up that's a challenge, we'll get through this. So just like, last week we had some really good things happen. So things come in cycles. So anyway, so that's what I have this week. So anyway, let's just hope that this week just turns out great, and maybe we just won't have to deal with too much of the mucky stuff, okay? So anyway, that's all I have for this week. And I'll be tuning in a little bit more with the Amy Coney Barrett hearings. I didn't want to do too much of that in the week ahead. I thought that's probably a separate video all in and of itself, so I'll probably do more on that. Also want to do more on on the election. I'm going to be doing more of that also. So, okay, that's what I have. So everybody take care, and we'll catch you next time. This has been Intuitive Edge.